If you went on YouTube and searched up Drake type beat, you would be met with a lot of results. But how many of these are actually made by humans? Well, short answer, you can't really tell just by listening. I think. I wanted to test this, so I made a beat purely through AI prompts and another similar beat that I made myself. Then I called some friends who are producers or artists themselves and asked them to pick the one that they thought was AI. This way I could see if you could tell the difference just by listening to it. But before I show you all that, I want to tell you why I even care about this. I mean, what makes AI bad in the first place? In terms of sound, it honestly sounds pretty decent. Matter of fact, the background track you're listening to right now is completely AI, and I'm sure most of you didn't pay any attention to it. I mean, you had no reason to. It just sounds like another background track. And don't worry, I could promise the next background track is by a real person, that real person being me. But hold on, if it's not the sound, then what makes it bad? Well, it's the fact that AI doesn't make music, or better yet, it actually can't make music. The same way AI can't write words, it just scrambles together a pattern to resemble words based on all the data it's been fed. And in the context of music, the data it's been fed is millions of songs that are taken without permission from the people who made the song. And I don't know if you guys heard about this word, it's a bit niche, but that does kind of sound a little bit like stealing. But you're probably thinking, yeah, stealing is pretty bad, but at least it doesn't affect the artist directly. And to that I say, fuck you. Sorry, but it actually does affect the artist directly. For example, an artist named Venus Theory added a background track in his video that was made by AI, and after the video was uploaded, it got copyrighted by that piece of AI music, which then led to him having to take down the video. And I don't know if you guys remember, which I hope you do because I said it like 20 seconds ago, but AI music is literally generated through stealing millions of existing songs. So why the hell does it have permission to copyright anything? That's like if a police officer watched you get robbed and get all of your clothes taken away, but when you go to report the crime to him, he just arrests you for public indecency. It makes no sense.
Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore.
I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but just bear with me. Huh? Oh no, it's just a saying, you know? Alright, so follow along with me here. First, we have AI stealing music from millions of existing songs without consent to generate its own Frankenstein of songs. Then, these AI generated songs receive their own copyright, meaning they are protected from unauthorized use in other works. This leads to cases where humans now may receive copyright strikes from using AI generated music, similar to what happened with Venus Theory. After this, these songs are uploaded to various platforms such as Spotify, YouTube, and even Splice, a platform offering melodies, sound effects, and other resources to assist musicians. However, this raises concerns as people now may unknowingly download and use AI-generated music, all while risking copyright infringement. Now, to be fair, platforms like YouTube and Splice do have the option to indicate that the content is AI-generated while uploading, but I mean, you could just not turn on that option. You know, you could just lie. Ever heard of that? Lying. And guess what? Now that these AI songs are out on every platform, it gets added to the pool of millions of songs AI steals from in the first place. And now if we zoom out a bit, you could clearly see the cycle of how eventually AI will just be stealing its own music while dumping that music out to different platforms and just continuing the cycle over and over until there's barely any real music online. And admittedly, I realize that this is a very extreme case, but considering the speed that AI could pump out a song, is it really that improbable? So that's why I wanted to make two different beats, one made completely with AI and one made by myself, to see if people could tell the difference. All to answer the question, are we
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Alright, so the process of making a beat through AI is insanely simple. All you have to do is go to one of these websites. In this case, I'm using Refusion, and in the prompt section, just type in what you want. So for a Drake type beat, I just typed in nice piano melody around 100 to 130 BPM, add some slow trap drums, a soft bass, and a riser before the beat drop. And with that, press enter, wait about 10 seconds, and boom, your beat is already done generating. And here's what it sounds like. When I first heard this beat, my jaw genuinely dropped. Cause sure, it's not the most revolutionary beat, but dog, it took literally less than 10 seconds to generate this. And all it took was me typing one sentence. And let's say you don't like the drums or the melody, they allow you to download the stems for the beat, so you could change or remove any part of the beat you don't like. Not to mention, this is completely free, so anybody could do this. And that makes me 100% more sure that there are so many type beats channels just pumping out AI generated music and growing their channel. Anyway, now that we have our AI beat, let's go make our own.
In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Alright, so the main difference between last time you heard me speak and right now is that I caught a cold, so prepare for some very monotone voiceovers. Anyway, what you're watching right now is me pressing random buttons on my keyboard because I never really bought a proper keyboard, so I just press random buttons on my computer keyboard until something sounds decent. Unfortunately, while doing this, my water bottle fell and rolled over my keyboard and somehow made a little pattern. So here's what that sounds like. Wow, that was so cool. Wonder how the bottle did that. Anyway, next I added a pad layer to make it feel a bit more ambient. After that, I went straight to YouTube because the day I could focus on a task for more than 3 minutes is the day I'll probably invent a platform where anyone could post something and others can watch it. What's that? Drew Gooden already made that and he called it YouTube. After a bit of doom scrolling, I found this old song that I liked, so I decided to extract the vocals from it and chop it up. And now I could use it as a sample for my beat. But I felt like using a sample is too much of a giveaway that a real person made it, so I'm gonna intentionally make the sample a little robotic by chopping it up unusually, I guess. But yeah, I'll play the finished beat now and also transition to me forcing people to talk to me.
For old Tammy, my baby, I kiss my baby, I kiss my baby, I kiss baby, I kiss.
Alright, so I thought it would be interesting to show the two beats to a casual listener, a producer, and an artist, and tell them to pick which one they think is AI, just because I was kind of curious if your relationship with music would change your judgment. And it's also kind of fun to set it up as a competition, so that's what we're doing now. We have Team Can Identify AI and Team Cannot Identify AI, both currently sitting at 0 points. So the first competitor stepping up is Aush. He is playing the role of a listener, so we could see if the general music consumer could tell the difference between AI and human. So let's see how he does. Roll the clip. Basically, today I'm gonna show you two different beats, okay? The twist is one of the beats I made myself, and one of the beats is completely made by AI. And then at the end of both listenings, we're gonna see which one you think is AI, basically.
I'm finna crash out if I pick the AI.
So what are your thoughts on that beat?
It was chill. I was looking for like any intentional stuff or not, but let's not talk about AI shit right now. Chill mellow beat. I've thought it had some kind of sample or some shit.
Alright, so let's go on to the second beat.
So in my opinion, second beat felt kinda bland. It was kind of like, it's in the background, it's whatever. And in my opinion, it had no intent behind it. Now, this would be really bad if it's not AI. So I'm hoping this one is AI. God damn, no. Fuck.
So you're sticking to the fact that the second beat is made by AI. The second beat was AI.
God damn, I knew it.
But
there was no intention behind it.
Yeah, but it's still kind of crazy, like how you still had to think about it. Alright, so far, wait, guys, can we turn down the crowd cheering.mp3? Thanks. Alright, so I still don't really believe that guy is Korean, but we have 1 point for the team can identify AI. Let's see if that will change with our next competitor, Snoofy. Snoofy himself is a producer, so we could see if being a producer helps you decide which beat is AI. Roll the clip, Gerald. Gerald? Alright, Gerald is just what I call myself when I'm editing. I guess I'll just roll the clip. So, today I'm gonna show you 2 different beats. And you're a producer yourself, so I thought it would be interesting to get your perspective on this. One of the beats is made by me. The other beat is made completely by AI. I want you to try distinguish which beat is which. So here's the first beat. Alright, what's your thoughts on that beat?
In general, this beat is like super nice. It has like a really nice, it has that really nice EQ filter applied to everything that makes it just sound so like vintaged.
Yeah, the
That's
mixing
super
is
cool.
nice.
I agree.
Alright, so the second beat, take a listen and let me know what you think.
Baby, I kiss my baby. I kiss
The main focal point of this beat was definitely the vocal there, the vocal sample being used. I think that is what's indicative of whether this is AI or made by you. So you can tell if the sampling is done by AI or if it's done by like an actual producer.
Judging by that, I think I know what your answer is. What is your final decision? Which beat is AI?
Beat number 2.
The second beat that you listen to? The one with the sample. Just so we're clear. And that is your final decision.
That is my final decision.
I want to tell you that your answer was wrong. Yeah, that was wrong. I made that beat. The sample part that you said was so accurate because I intentionally like chopped it weirdly just so it sounded a little AI-ish.
I knew.
But I didn't, but you weren't supposed to fall for it, bro. You're a producer yourself. What a turn of event, folks. A producer not being able to tell which beat was AI was very unexpected. We have a close game on our hands, folks. Team can identify and team cannot identify, both sitting at 1 point respectfully. Our next competitor will determine the outcome of this match, and who better to do that than the man himself, Jack Harlow. Wait, what's that? Wait, production, cut the cameras real quick. No, you can't be serious right now. Psst, 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 psst. What did I even hire you for then? What, you guys are useless. Alright folks, I just got news that Jack Harlow could not make it today, so we got another white guy from the street that doesn't really even look like him, but here he is. I hear this man also makes songs himself, so let's see how he does. Let's check it out, folks. So here is the first beat. Take a listen and don't say if you think it's AI yet, just give me your thoughts, your overall thoughts.
I bet, I got you. It sounds very cinematic, bro. There's a lot of like Instagram boom effects. I'd say it sounds kind of phasey. It sounds like it was generated, bro.
So you're already having a little bit of a suspicion on this one.
Yeah, bro. This one kind of sus, bro.
baby. I kiss my baby.
Oh, that one was definitely made by you,
What do you mean? What do you mean definitely?
bro. I could just tell, like the drums, bro. The drums you do are very distinct.
Oh,
Did you
boy.
train it on your beats?
Yes.
Oh, bro. That's crazy.
So I'm gonna let you,
crazy.
decide one more time which one you think is AI as a final clear answer. Which one do you think is AI?
I'm gonna say they're both AI. If you said you trained them on your beats,
Yes.
I'm gonna say they're both AI.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, bro.
Any last words for the video before we end? Ready?
Life is an experience to be lived, not a problem to be solved.
That shit was ass, bro. A tie. First time in the history of whatever the hell this game is. Anyway, since it was a tie, I thought I would let you guys decide the final verdict. So I made 2 new beats, obviously. 1 AI, 1 real. And if you go to the community tab on my channel, you'll see that I posted a poll asking which one you thought was AI. I'm gonna play you the 2 new beats right now, and after listening, I want you to go to the poll and vote on which one you thought was AI, and I'll reveal the answer in the next video. Alright, enjoy the 2 beats. I'll see you later. Sorry about the bad upload schedule. I'm sorry. It was nice talking to you though. Thanks for catching up. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, bye bye.